Welcome back, guys, to another episode Invest in Your Future. I'm your host, Coach Kenny, CEO of Kirunda Group Corporation. I want to thank you guys for joining us for another Thursday. We're here every other Thursday to give back and help give back in terms of knowledge, in terms of education, in terms of credit, real estate, finances, business, small business, uh, you know, entrepreneurship. We're just trying to give back in terms of knowledge and help you guys out in terms of being able to sustain yourself. But also, we bring on guests and we also bring on other people that like mind. And not next week, but the following week, we will be bringing on a special guest, another guest on to help us improve and also help us invest in our future by learning from them. Today, I really want to discuss a topic that a lot of people are not focused on and not thinking about, especially now that it's school's about to start. We're about in the season where school's about to start, and this is a topic that a lot of people need to understand because when it comes to school, there's a big difference between school and education. School versus education. When you think about you know the traditional way of everyone's lived in terms of you have to go to school, you have to finish till 12th grade, then you go to college for 4 years and you get your bachelor's. This is the typical wave of what the traditional path for everyone is you as soon as you start preschool, first grade, all the way up to 12th grade, then you take your college and you major into something, and hopefully from that you get a job, and the job pays you for 40, 50 years, 60 years, and you retire, and you live happily ever after. Now, that's that's okay for those people who believe that's the only path they have. But I really want to open people up. This was the big reason why I started even this podcast, was I want to open people up to see other opportunities that they might not see, especially when they were brainwashed by the system by saying, listen, this is the path you need to follow. This is the only path. Well, that's not the only path. If you look at everyone who's super successful in any venture, almost you can almost guarantee that they didn't even go to college. Mark Zuckerberg didn't go to college. You know, Elon Musk dropped out. Like a bunch of these people didn't go to the traditional path, yet they've made significant change in the world, not only financially, but also by business wise and also mind wise. These people get paid millions of dollars to go speak or do anything else, but they don't have a college education. You have to actually really question society in terms of the path you want to take. So for me, I did take the traditional path. I went to school, and then got my degree, got the traditional job, and I realized this is not the path for me. It could be the path for anybody. It could be any path for anybody else that feel like that's the only path they have. But if you have a burning desire inside yourself to say, listen, there's something different, you need to understand there's a difference between school and education. The first thing is there's a massive difference, big difference. So Jim Rohn says formal education will make you a living, meaning school, but self-education will make you a fortune. So that's the education I'm talking about. So formal education, which is school, the traditional path, and there's also the education part. Understand the people who are successful and have not gone to college, they found education. They're not dumb people. Just because they didn't go to college does not make you a dumb person. You know, there's a lot of successful people out there that did not go to college. They've written books, they've invented things, they've started businesses, they've built empires without going to college, without taking traditional education. Even almost all the, if you look at all the Thomas Edison, all these other guys, Ford, the guy who started Ford, he didn't finish high school. You know, Henry Ford didn't finish high school. Understand that these people have changed everything in their lives without going to school. So how's that possible if that's the path? Well, you need to understand what is the path right now. So you have to understand that the traditional schooling system right now, the way it's built, is built on an old school way. So it's built in a Prussian kind of system where they're building either soldiers or they're building workers, people who work to be able to feed the soldiers. That's how the system was started. It's really, if you think about the system, it's show up at 9 or show up at 8. You get a half hour lunch break. This is school. This is school system. I went to school, so I know exactly what the system is. You show up at 8:30. You have about maybe 15 minutes to get ready, and then you go to class. You go from class from 9 till 2:30. In between there, you have a half hour break. Then you go home. Think about the traditional work schedule right now. You show up at 9, you get your half hour break, and you go home at 5. So the school system is building the same people that are out there doing the simple typical 9 to 5. That's what it's building you for. So even if you go to school and go to college, it's still training you to go work in a box in a cubicle. It's going to train you to stay in your lane, not think outside the box. Well, listen, if you feel like there's something different inside you than you something else, you need to understand that this comes down to where you get away from school and focus on education. You have to think about this. Education, education is really you're searching for something. You're looking for something, and you're not going to stop until you get it. So whether that's like I said, either you want to build a computer business, or you want to build a manufacturing firm, a product, a store, a software, whatever it is. Yes, you can go to school for it, but if you really want to, you can really search it for yourself and build it yourself. So I didn't go to real estate school, but I'm in real estate. I didn't take the traditional path of get a realtor license and then get into real estate. No, I went into real estate strictly on the investing side because that's what I wanted to do. And the way I got into that is because I found the education. I went and found the people that are in the business. I went and found the books that were in the business, and I taught myself, and I got into the business without a college degree in that sense. That's why there's not really a school for entrepreneurship, because it's self-education. It's really self-education on how to do business, how to handle your finances, how to market, how to fix your credit, how to buy assets, how to cash flow assets, how to write a P&L, how to build a cash flow statement. All these things are self-education. Self-education. They don't teach these things in school. Yes, they teach accounting, but accounting is a job where you go show up at 9, leave at 5. But if they taught you on how to, you know, um, deal with real estate in terms of how to be able to buy an asset by yourself, they should be teaching that in school, or how to use life insurance to be able to get money out and buy more assets. That's what they should be teaching in school. How to fix your credit so that way you can borrow as much as you want. That's what they should be teaching in school. But that's all has to be self-education. All of the other things that you want, if you want to be successful in any field, like I said, it doesn't matter what it is. Yes, you can go back to school, but they're teaching you to become a worker. Don't you don't need to go unless you're going to become a doctor or you need specialized education. You need to learn obviously the body, the systems, and all that stuff. That you need formal education for. But to run a business or to start a software firm, all you need to do is go find free programming classes. Let's say I wanted to become a software programmer. I want to start a software business. Let me give you an example. There's an education where I have to go back to school and get a computer science degree, get maybe a master's in computer science, and then go work for a company and see. But why don't I take the different path of let me go learn software programming from all the free sources I can, build up small programs, and then go from there. Because it's a simple path that you can follow the same way with any kind of business. You don't have to go the traditional go to school and get in debt for 60, 70, 80, $100,000, and you're already starting in the negative, and now you have to go find a job that pays you hopefully enough to cover that debt. But where you actually take the different path and take the self-education, which is most likely going to be free. Self-education is usually free. All the information out there, Google will give you all the self-education you need. YouTube will give you all the self-education you need. Any library, any used bookstore will give you all the education you need, all the self-education you need. You know, so understand the difference. Understand the difference between school and education. And if you think about education as just you're searching for something, you are looking for something, you are going to not stop until you find it. It's not that you need it, it's that you want it, and you deserve it, and you feel like you need the information to be able to get where you want to. It's that simple. That's the difference between school and education. School, they just give you a book, read this book, memorize this, and regurgitate it back a couple days later. That's school. It's just testing about memory. It's that simple. But if you're doing self-education, you're actually taking the principles that you're learning and actually implementing them. There's no way I can learn about real estate investing all from a book. I actually have to do it. Like there's no way I can learn about software, making a software program by just reading a book. I have to actually go out there and make simple pieces of software. It's that simple. So understand the difference between school and education. All right. So guys, hope you guys picked up some kind of content from this. I wanted to make it short and sweet. Make sure you guys control your day by not taking too much of your time. But the following, not next Thursday, but the following Thursday, we'll be bringing on a special guest who will bring us some more education in terms of how to improve ourselves and use methods around us to improve every facet of our lives. Guys, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, if it's on Instagram or it's on the iTunes, please give us a thumbs up. Please leave us a comment. Please subscribe so that way you get notifications on when we do drop content. We're trying to bring on more people, more guests on here. I'm going to start breaking down more in terms of my business and how to help guys be able to maybe start their real estate business. But guys, give us a thumbs up. Also, if you have questions or comments, leave them wherever you listen to this, and that way we can get back to you, and maybe we can use the ideas to also build up shows from those ideas, because we love getting ideas and feedback from the audience, so that way we can know what kind of path you guys want to listen to and what kind of information and content will help you guys invest in your future. Guys, I hope you got some content this today. Guys, have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you at the top.